everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Please consider subscribing because I make new video every single week. And this one today, you've already seen it, the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. I was scrolling through the internet trying to find something new and exciting, and I was scrolling, and I saw this and I thought, they're making a what now? They're making a Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette, and of course, I'm gonna have to have this. If you want to jump straight to the makeup, feel free to do so. Timestamp. If you want to stay for the unboxing of this and just me going through the price and how much product you're getting, then stay with me for a couple of more seconds. So this is the box that it comes in. On the back you'll see all the shades, what they're called. And there's also some writing on here, from the shores of Dragonshore to the frozen lands beyond the wall. This eyeshadow palette was inspired by our favourite places in Westeros and the strong women of the Seven Kingdoms. Prepare for battle with Stormborn, a glittery metallic purple, and unwind with Lannister red, a matte reddish brown. Choose your look and claim your rightful place on the throne. I want to talk about the throne. Right, so let's open the box. Opens the box. Whoop. So there it is. Looks exactly the same as the box. The box has the map on the inside, if you bought this and you didn't realise. That's just a really nice touch, I think. So they've actually made a full-on map in here. Yeah, it's the whole thing. That's a really cool touch. They didn't have to do that, but they've done that. Perfect. So this is what you're getting. It's heavy. It's big and it's heavy. Got the map again going around. Then you open. Oh, got a mirror. Nice big mirror. Sorry, I'm blinding you. Sorry. Some writing in here. It's really... Sorry, I can't really do this without blinding you. Let me put my arm there. There we go. So there's some really pretty writing in there in gold saying Lannister, Targaryen, Baratheon, Stark, Tyrell. They're all just spokes on a wheel. This one's on top, then that one's on top, and on it spins, crushing those on the ground. And then it says that was said by Daenerys Targaryen. I have never seen an eyeshadow palette do this, ever. If anyone has seen something similar in an eyeshadow palette, please let me know because I need it. This is so cool. I mean, just look at that. Is it necessary in an eyeshadow palette? No. But is it awesome? Yeah. Inside there's some writing as well. Never forget what you are, the rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor and it can never be used to hurt you. And that's Tyrion Lannister that said that. Sorry, that's my computer. It's got a virus and it keeps sending me inappropriate messages. Right, so that is that. That's what that looks like. So obviously this takes up the majority of the box, really. Is it necessary? Like I said, no, it's not really necessary. Have you paid extra for this? Probably. But this is so cool. I mean, this is just, for any makeup collector, you need this. Palette itself is down here, this little ribbon again. And then you pull it out. Oh. Those are the palettes. So it's almost like it's 4 eyeshadow palettes within one palette. So on top here, you've got, obviously, your White Walker theme. So you've got Take the Black, White Walker, Frozen North, Free Folk, and Hardhome. And then you've got the Winterfell section, which is Nymeria, Winter's Here, Weirwood Leaves. Oh, Game of Thrones fans, don't kill me. I'm not 100%. I can't remember how to pronounce that. Weirwood Leaves. Please, somebody correct me. The Sight, and then obviously Winterfell there. Then you've got the Lannister section, which is Red Keep, Casterly Rock, House Lannister, Lannister Red, and King's Landing. Then on the bottom, you've got the one where I literally went... Do you know what I said in my last video? When you buy a new eyeshadow palette, there's usually, especially for me, there's that 1 or 2 shades that you just go beam, and that's like all you can see. For me, that was definitely the Targaryen bit, with the glittery purple, which is Stormborn. You've got House Targaryen, Dothraki, and Bend the Knee, and then the main one is the Bay of Dragons. So for me, when I opened the palette, the 2 shades that really struck me was the Stormborn, obviously the gold, because all about that gold. So what I'm going to do today is basically just make a look, give you my first impressions of this palette, do some swatches. Basically, I'll just chop and change and use a little bit from the different areas of the palette. I want to say the different palettes because it's so, they could have just sold that. They could have done the White Walker palette, the Winterfell palette, you know what I mean. They could have done that, but obviously they've done the whole thing. If you've seen my 5 in 5 with the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, I'm going to do a similar video with this palette, do a 5 in 5 where I'm basically going to do one look from the top and then one look from number 2 and so on and so forth. And then the 5th look is going to be just another all mash. Without further ado, because I can speak for Britain, I will jump straight into the palette. Just a couple of technicalities before I jump straight into putting this on my face. 20 shades in the palette. You get 16 0.03 ounce shadows, which is obviously these ones here. And then you get 4 0.05, which obviously are these transformer shades on the side. It's £45 on the UK Urban Decay website and it's $65. Just to sidetrack real quickly, I said I was going to do something, so I'm going to do that right now. Oh.
Watch out for the stairs!
That was for you, Shay. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. When I say I'm going to do something, I will go through and do it. Okay, so the first color I'm going to use, I'm going to go in with House Lannister, which is this one, and use that as a transition shade. So I'm going to use my JS6. Lot of product on the brush, tiny bit of pickup in the pan. Have you seen my mirror? This is my new favorite thing in the whole wide world. So I'm just patting this on. That's a really beautiful color. By the way that I watch Game of Thrones, and I've always done it like this, is I wait for the whole series, the whole season to be over, and then I take a full weekend or a couple of days and just binge the whole thing. So please, no spoilers in the comments, because I am waiting. Okay, so far I'm really happy with that. Just a subtle, nice transition shade. It's a really beautiful color, blended really nicely. So let's see if it works well with the other shadows. Just on a side note, I'm just looking at it now, there are way more shimmers in the palette than there are mattes. The only actual mattes in the palette is in the Winterfell palette, which is Nymeria. And then you have House Lannister, which I just used, and Lannister Red. So it's actually only 3. There's only 3 actual mattes in the palette. The rest of them are various degrees of shimmers. But just so you are aware, if you're a kind of person that's not into shimmer, or if you're a little bit older and shimmers don't work for your skin, then this might not be the palette for you because it is a majority of shimmers. So I'm going to go into the Winterfell part of the palette now, which is Nymeria, this one up here, and I'm just going to rock that into the crease and deepen up this look. A little bit of pickup again in the pan, a little bit powdery. That does blend quite nice. I'm getting a little bit of patchiness, but I'm wondering maybe that might be that it's clinging to the Shape Tape in a little bit of a weird way. But with the shadow itself, it's blending really nicely, so it might be worth maybe putting like a neutral eyeshadow base, so you have a powder base rather than a tacky base. Play around with it, see what you think. It definitely is blending nicely. I just have to work it a little bit more where it's just the Shape Tape. I want to go in with another colour from the Winterfell part, which is Winter is Here, which is a like chocolatey brown with a little bit of a shimmer, and just deepen up the crease even more. Quite like for this look today to be a bit dramatic, because what is a Game of Thrones if not dramatic? For the crease, I've been using the Essential Crease Brush from Real Techniques. You know, that's my go-to brush for this. You do have to work with this for a while, but it's really nice. It blends really, really beautifully. It just needs a bit of commitment and time. Absolutely no fallout on my face. Okay, and then as always, in with a clean brush to just buff out the edges. This is the JS5. Just make it nice and seamless. Oh, I feel like I need gold all over my lid. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut the crease, and then we're going to put the main colour from the Winterfell palette. Bear with whilst the crease is cut. Who else opens their eyes and messes up their cut crease? I'm going to try dry first, like we always do, and then see what happens when we wet the brush. So going back in with my JS6, dipping into Winterfell, not really any pickup in there. Actually, scrap that. I'm going to use a more compact brush because I want to really keep that cut crease. Just my Body Shop double brush that I unfortunately don't know what it's called because I've used it so much. The label's gone. Oh, it's really pretty. I do love a gold. Really nice foil. I'm gonna do the other eye with a wet brush just to see the difference. Ah! Be careful when you dip into the pan with a wet brush. I almost ruined the whole shade. It kind of caved in on itself a little bit. I got excited. Careful, don't dip in too hard. It's very buttery. Probably going to say the weirdest thing I've ever said ever. This eyeshadow changed the texture of my eyelid. Like it's gone on like I put actual foil and just integrated it in my skin. It looks beautiful, and obviously, I mean, wetting the brush didn't really make that much of a difference. It's still the same, but it's laid on my eyelid like a bit too heavy. It's like it's manipulating the actual skin on my eyelid, if that makes sense. Skip wetting the brush for Winterfell. Just leave it as it is because it is really nice and pigmented anyway. Wetting it just made it almost stiff. Right, now that we have this power gold on our eyes, I want to deepen out the outer V even more. Are we brave enough to do the black? I'm going to be super careful and take the black in the outer V corner of my eye. I don't want to mess this up. I'm going to use my Real Techniques Packer brush, which is called a shading brush. Bless you. So what I'll do is just put the product exactly where I want it. Do not blend with the product brush. Ugh. Oh, black and gold. Thank God there's no fallout, because black fallout is a nightmare. Right, I'm gonna go back in with my JS5 and just gently blend that in. Even though I would prefer no spoilers in the comments, please. I do want to know what people think about Game of Thrones. Do you watch it? Do you not? Do you not care? Are you a die-hard fan? Will you get the palette? I'm ready for a siege. Nymeria is really popping on top of it. Can you see that? Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, I'm almost hating the fact that there's so many things I could do with the bit under my eye. Oh, the green in the sight. I could do one of the purples, I could do another shade of gold, or maybe this. Do I want to do a proper contrasting pop of colour under the eye, or do I want to do something that will complement the rest of the eye? That is the question. I wish I had a fan like at the end of it and just get all my... Let's just let the hair out already, shall we? I'm kind of leaning towards the Wirewood Leaves, which is this burgundy colour, because it will complement the eyeshadow I've already got on, but it will also be different enough to be a pop. Yes, we're going for it. We're going for Wirewood Leaves. Werewood Leaves. This one. Please somebody help. Wow. I might as well be Cersei. Absolutely no pickup in the pan for this colour. That's bizarre. There's like nothing at all. Yeah, I think that was a good choice. And then we need an inner corner pop, and we have so many choices. We could do Hardhome, we could go, well, I'm not going to use Winterfell again, but you could do that. King's Landing's a good choice. If you wanted something completely different at this point, you can use one of the purples, or Bay of Dragons, which is this pink, like rose gold colour. I think we're gonna go for King's Landing. So we're gonna pack that in with the JS6. It's very subtle going on dry, but it definitely does the job. Let's try it wet for fun, because why not? This didn't have the same problem as I had with the Winterfell, where it kind of crumbled under the weight of my wet brush. Again, be careful with Winterfell. It's beautiful. It's nothing wrong with that having happened, if that made sense. That probably was awful grammar. It's a very buttery formula. It's almost like the ColourPop little jars. If you've ever had one of those, it's the same kind of feel to it. You can't go in too hard or you will actually destroy it. Oh, that's really pretty. That's like, oh, it's almost like sunshine's coming through the window and hitting the corner of my eye. Very nice. Right, so that's what it looks like before I have cleaned up. Oh, what? I'm going to tidy up, pop some black eyeliner in my waterline and put some lashes on. I feel like we need falsies today, so that's gonna happen. And I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look and I'm so in love with it. If this doesn't scream power and ready for war, then nothing ever will. So I've put lashes on, I've put some lipstick on, and I've also put that wirewood colour on top of the lipstick just to make it even more cohesive with the look. Oh, and I'm so sad I'm not going anywhere and nobody's home to see this. What? I'm gonna take so many pictures. This is so awesome. Honestly, the way the colours have blended together is just amazing. Up and personal. So I'm really loving the way that the Nymeria colour, which is the one that I've got on top there, is popping up over the black and the gold and then the purpley burgundy colour under my eyes, how they're all complementing each other. And obviously there's so many things you can do with this palette. That was just, how many? 1, 2, 3, like 5 colours in a palette of 20. So many options. Oh, bum. Please let me know down below what you think of this look. I will do swatches for you, which I will pop on the screen just now, of just the separate little palettes. So the White Walker, the Winterfell, King's Landing and Bay of Dragons. That will all be going across the screen as I speak with the shade names. What I'm also going to do is do finger swatch versus a brush swatch, because that makes a massive difference, and you will know this from trying on eyeshadows. A brush won't necessarily do the same thing on your skin as a finger swatch will have done, so don't judge. If you're in a shop and you're looking at palettes and you're doing some swatches to test out the colours, don't judge them solely on a finger swatch, because that is not necessarily what's going to happen on your face and on your skin. So that is it for this video. I really hoped you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Please let me know down below if you have any suggestions for me, anything at all. I would love to hear from you. And if you made it to the end of the video, please post a yellow love heart emoji down below so I know that you watched all the way through, and I'm so grateful and happy that you did. So thank you so much for following me. I'll be making new videos every single week, so there'll be something new every week for you to watch. Oh, and just before we leave, I put King's Landing as a highlight on this side, which is a beautiful blinding gold, and I put Bay of Dragons on the other side, which is the rose gold pink. They're both really, really pretty. Perfect. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am super, super grateful. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good one until next time. Bye.